Namaste, Jai Bharat. Pakistan had been always boasting. If you look at the media, you find them always telling that we are a nuclear nation, we are a nuclear power, be careful. No, implying that be careful, we can do anything. If you look at the narratives of the media, both social and otherwise, they continuously had been making the statement that we are a nuclear power. But now, it's no more the case. They don't speak of being a nuclear power anymore. They were so boisterous about being nuclear power, but then you don't hear it anymore. What must have happened? Of course, the question of so-called post-fire, which they call a ceasefire, actually it's a post-fire. What must have happened? They had this nuclear arsenals where pack piles, this pile of nuclear arsenals were kept in a stipulated manner where it should be stored in underground in some tunnels with some specific designs, etc. They must have been keeping somewhere, but incidentally, coincidentally, or deliberately, we don't know. At two of such, their nuclear pile stock was attacked. In the sense that no one, they were not hit directly, but all the doors, all doors to the tunnel were attacked, and at least if there are 8 tunnels, then 6 are destroyed. I mean, 8 entrances, then the 6 are destroyed, or several entrances, maybe 10 entrances, then 8, 9 are destroyed. So, which means the entrance to the tunnel of the pack, the nuclear arsenal pack, were almost all 80 to 90%, the doors were destroyed. The doors, to destroy a particular door, you need great precision, and that was done. And then, as a result, they must have something that happened. There won't be nuclear explosions because the two masses are kept separately in a nuclear device. They have to get together, and the fusion has to be triggered by external devices of initial movement. Let me call it as initial force or movement, whatever it is. That must not happen, but then radiation is something which is unavoidable. So the radiation must have taken place in great scale. But the impact caused vibration in the Richter scale, which is as good as an earthquake. And this happened thrice, 3 or 4 times, measuring either 3, 4, or 5, something like that. With this, the nuclear story must have got ended because the places, 2 of their nuclear tunnels were shocked, I would say shocked. And the report says that for another 100 years or 1,000 years, you cannot enter. The whole thing is buried alive. So literally, it is resting in peace. Can't wait for the day of Qiyamah. But resting in peace is still the day of Qiyamah, officially supposed to be the belief. But then the whole things were buried in their own tunnels in an irrecoverable manner, which means they can't even think or speak of nuclear devices anymore. If they have something more, then it's a different case. If they had only 2 places, that's different case. If they had more places, they were also shaken. That's also different cases. We don't know. But at least 2 places this thing happened. Their devices were troubled, and now that area you can't go. No one can enter the tunnel for at least 100 to 1,000 years. That's what some experts were telling. This is physics, nuclear science, or whatever. I do not know. This is what I hear. So if that's the case, then they are no more nuclear power. That's one thing. Stop boasting. You have done more than boasting, and you have been much more than being boisterous or even beyond whatever it is. That was really as if you are the only one who has kept talking a lot, big talks, as they do with Stephen Dow. But there are no more talks about nuclear. I haven't heard of any nuclear from that day by anyone in Pakistan. Otherwise, normally people won't know what's happening. So they would keep telling, but no, it's not the case. For the time being, I think tomorrow. Now, as the case stands, their nuclear arsenals are done with, done with. So they can't be a nuclear power anymore. And if they want to be a nuclear power, they will have to, or they might have to start from day one. That is start from the scratch. That's the situation. And the second problem with Pakistan is that this shows how irresponsible they are and how careless they are with handling such weapons arsenal. Because if something, if the if the storage is inappropriate, that causes concern for the entire world. Radiation is something which is confined to political boundaries. It can travel to whichever place nearby. So it's hazardous to everyone. So that shows they're incapable of keeping them. They're incapable of protecting them, maintaining them in an inappropriate system of maintenance. So what someone was telling is that these all protection and protocol of maintenance was given by US. So it also raises questions about the maintenance by whosoever is involved in it. So both the way, the nuclear is not more nuclear. It's gone with the wind. It's gone with the wind with this 4 days of movement. That's the situation in Pakistan. They should do better things. They never looked after their people. They should look after the welfare of the people and try to do something and become economically well off so that the people will not have to starve and face uncertainties with life. They have invested in religion, they have kept religion, and they have used religion which other people with similar religion get to understand these days. So this becomes semblance of mistake. Another thing with Pakistan is that they don't have a nationality. They don't have a national identity because they are semblance of mistake, which many people have realized even before partition. Baluchis have a Baluchi identity. Punjabis do have a Punjabi identity, which of course is different from the real Punjabi identity what we have in Bharat. And the Multanis have their identity, the Pathans have their identity, and Khyber Pakhtunkhwa people, of course. And then the different people in Pakistan have different identities, and there is nothing that unites them. Actually, it is very, very ambitious of Muhammad Iqbal to speak Islam is a unity, which is not the case. But how the second of his narrative, Islam is a polity, is correct in the sense that everyone is using Islam for political use. So one half Iqbal is right, and another half Iqbal is grossly wrong. We shall meet again with some other thought. Till then, Namaste, Jai Bharat, Jai Sri Ram.